So the Arizona Wildcats beat the NAU Lumberjacks. Final score: Arizona Wildcats 92 to the NAU Lumberjacks 37. Um, that was really nice to see 7 assists from Kadeem Allen. Um, that was pretty awesome. And I was complaining the last time, last game, I think, whenever we played Missouri. I was thinking that, boy, it would be nice if Kadeem Allen and Ryan Anderson could work together. But then I was looking at this game, at the play-by-play action for this game here against NAU Lumberjacks, and Kadeem Allen actually did 3 assists to Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson is a forward there, and so that was really, really nice to see. That was really, really nice to see. That was it's just good for Anderson to see Anderson get so many get in good teamwork with Kadeem Allen, and to see those two work together. Whenever I see that, then I think maybe someday it'll be like Gardner and Jason Gardner and Luke Walton. That pair was really nice to get. That pair really worked nicely together. But anyway, that was a nice thing to see with Kadeem Allen getting 7 assists. He only had 7 points in the final, but he had 7 assists, so that was pretty good. He had only 1 turnover, which is awesome, because the assist to turnover ratio is always very important. And I was thinking about it this time, wondering what was going on with the assist to turnover ratio as far as a whole, as far as the team. The Arizona Wildcats had 17 assists, which is, I think, Sean Miller would be pretty happy about, because he wasn't very happy right in the beginning of this game, because it was very much individual ball. There wasn't a whole lot of assists. I think by half, I think the Arizona Wildcats had 6 assists or something like that, and they ended up with 17. So they definitely picked it up as far as the amount of assists that they did in the second half compared to the first half. But they had 10 turnovers. The Arizona Wildcats had 10 turnovers, which is also very low. So I think Coach Miller would be very happy about that. Would be pretty happy about only 10 turnovers as compared to, I think, 15. They had 15 the last time they played against Missouri. They had 15, I think. So 15 turnovers. So that's much better with only 10 turnovers this time. So it'll be interesting to see to see what happens whenever the Arizona Wildcats play against UNLV, because whenever you increase the pressure, whenever there's increased pressure on the team, then they tend to turn over the ball a little bit more. And the funny thing is that the amount of turnovers actually, I think it decreased, because they had 6 turnovers in the first half, but they were playing more individual ball. But then in the second half, they had only 4 turnovers to end up with 10 turnovers total. So it's interesting, whenever they passed the ball more, whenever they were giving the ball to each other more often, then they had less turnovers. So that was kind of interesting. Trier had 4 turnovers, all by himself. I think everybody else, I think nobody else got any more than 1 turnover. So it was Trier was kind of having a difficult time. He only had like 11 points in this game as of his final, but he had I think it was 4 steals. So, or was it Kadeem Allen that had 4 steals or 4 blocks? Yeah, I think it was Kadeem Allen that had 4 steals, and it was Trier that had, I think, 4 blocks or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but whenever I was looking at that, and I saw 3, or no, I saw 2, um, 2, uh, 2 steals also from Parker Jackson-Cartwright. So that's another point guard with Kadeem Allen and then a Parker Jackson-Cartwright, both having, both getting quite a few amount of steals. So I think Parker Jackson-Cartwright had 3 assists. So you end up with 10 assists from your point guards altogether, and that's I think Sean Miller was pretty happy about that as far as the amount of assists. So that's good. Another person that had 3 assists. There was one more person that had 3 assists. I think it was Trier that had 3 assists. So even though his shot was not going down very well, and he had 4 turnovers, at least he had 3 assists. So that was another nice contribution from Trier, is to get 3 assists. We had Tollefson scored 19 points total. He knocked down 1 3-pointer. He knocked down 6 free throws, and it was more individual ball with him as far as the field goals. But I think it was Parker Jackson-Cartwright that passed it out. One of his assists was pass out to Tollefson, so that was a nice contribution from Parker Jackson-Cartwright. But so you get Tollefson with made 6 out of 6 from free throw land, and then I think Allen could Anderson had 4 for 4 from free throw land, and they also had 1 assist. And I don't really understand why Anderson why he didn't get more assists, because he seems like he's smart and he knows how to play the game. He's a good player, and he has that intellect, that basketball intellect. So he knows how to defend. Because I was looking at the who shot. I think for who shot for NAU, and I think it was what's it? I can't remember his name. Rick, was it Rick? I can't remember but their highest score, NAU Lumberjacks' highest score was 12 points, and I saw two of those shots were against Kadeem Allen. He made 2 shots with Kadeem Allen defending against him, but it's so hard whenever you get those ball screens, and that's what he had. Is he pretty much used the other players to rub Kadeem Allen off of him, and so there wasn't. Kadeem Allen had a really hard time following the highest scorer for NAU Lumberjacks. I think it was Naku, yeah, I can't remember what his name is, but so So he ended up with 12 points, but he was the only one that ended up with double figures for the NAU Lumberjacks. I think the next highest score was 8 points or something like that. From was it? No, it wasn't Green. It was I can't remember who it was, but so and the guy that had 12 points for the Lumberjacks, he also had 3 assists. So he also made a nice contribution as far as assists. But that was good. I mean, I was looking at Allen, and Allen did a lot of the defense, played a lot of the defense on the highest score for the Lumberjacks. I can't remember what his number was, but anyway, Kadeem Allen did a good job at defending against their highest NAU Lumberjacks highest scorer, and he was a guard. So that's another thing that was a big worry for the Arizona Wildcats, was they were able to defend against forwards, but not really defend against guards. They were able to shut down forwards pretty good, but not able to shut down guards very good. And they were able to shut down a guard pretty good. This game, the highest scorer for the NAU Lumberjacks scores about 14 points a game, but he only scored, like I said, he only scored about 12 points this game. So that was really good, and I don't think there was any player for the NAU Lumberjacks that scored more than his average. That was high up there, a major contributor. But so we had Tolson with 19 points. Now that Zeus is out for a little while, maybe Tolson is getting a good practice in there and being able to make some nice plays and not be so worried about Zeus being in there also, sharing the ball. Anderson with 18 points, which was very good. And then Trier had 11 points, which is also nice. He knocked down one of his, I think he took 4 3-pointer attempts, but he only made one of them. York hit 2 for 5 from 3-point land, so he was doing very well. He was assisted from Parker Jackson-Cartwright, passed off to York, and York was able to knock down those 3-pointers. Anyway, it was a nice game because I saw Allen and Anderson working together, and I also saw a guard being stopped somewhat and not getting a crazy amount of points, 30, 40 points in a game over in McKale. So Allen did a pretty good job of shutting him down. Anyway, so it was a nice game. Hopefully we can keep up this good guard defense against UNLV on Saturday at 6:30, I think, Mountain Standard Time on ESPN2. So anyway, the Arizona Wildcats beat the NAU Lumberjacks. The final score: Arizona Wildcats 92 to the NAU Lumberjacks 37.